All right, so we had this big airline worry today, Doc. Many cutting their forecast. United, Southwest, American, JetBlue. We're like, okay, these reopening plays are in trouble. Then you look at the screen now, and all those stocks are up, and nicely so. And I wonder if that's the biggest tell of the day, and what that message of the market, so to speak, is to you about how we should view these stocks. Whether, okay, so they cut their forecast. We're going to get past Delta. Maybe that's the worst of it, and now we can buy these stocks.
Yes and no, Scott. As far as I'll say business travelers versus recreational travelers or just regular Joes and Janes. Business travelers are the lifeblood of all of those big three airlines and a host of others. But a lot of those business travelers have curtailed their travel dramatically. And so as far as the reopening plays, Scott, if we're talking about things like theme parks, again, recreational travel or experiential like Vegas, all those things, I'm right with you. Those will continue to expand, and we'll see, you know, not just 35 and 45% gains in those sectors that I just talked about, but much more as the reopening continues. But the business traveler, Scott, the folks that are price insensitive, that's the one sector that I really worry about right now, because I think businesses, we all want to get back out face to face with people, but businesses have learned they don't have to spend nearly as aggressively as they used to spend on that business travel. So for that reason, I am a little, you know, I have a lot of trepidation about all of these stocks.
I hear you.
In the airline space, not those others.
I know you have puts in the Jets ETF, so I get it. To me, frankly, Josh, this is not a airline trade story. This is a bigger issue about where we are with reopened stocks. The fact that these things were down, they're all up. Some of the strongest stocks in the market today are the airlines themselves. And at some point, do you get to a point where you say, all right, we get it. We know things have been sluggish over the past few months. The jobs report was not good. Growth has been a little bit less than people expected because of the Delta variant, but you're going to get past that. At some point, you look at the Live Nations of the world, which I looked earlier today was down too, and now it's positive. And that's one of your names, or the Expedias of the world, or the casinos, or the hotels, and say, okay, maybe there's going to be a turning point soon for these stocks because you got to buy them at some point.
Scott, I think a lot of what you're saying is right. I would just point out, like, are we saying that people in Delta stock right now aren't aware that there was a surge in coronavirus cases? Like, are we saying that's new information to the market? I'm not in these airline stocks, but I would argue actually the risk reward here is pretty darn good. Anyone that's a shareholder in any of the major airlines is well aware that we had a viral surge over the summer and that there was a hit to bookings. Like, nobody's like clutching their pearls because all of a sudden some of the leisure travel slowed down. Equally, nobody that's in these stocks doesn't understand that it's going to be a long time before business travel comes back. So I don't think any of that is like meaningful on a go-forward basis for these stocks. Here's what is. If we don't have as bad a winter as we had last year and vaccination rates continue to climb, which they are, and we don't have these shutdowns and all of these things that are in our worst nightmares to see recur, these stocks are going up, not down. And if business travel could surprise in any direction, it ain't going to be to the downside. It can only surprise to the upside. Nobody is expecting a resurgence in business travel, in conferences, in meetings. So there's only one direction to be surprised in. So you look at Delta at 41. I'm not saying it looks great
Completely
technically,
disagree.
but it might have. You think there's going to be a negative downside surprise to business travel? Who is optimistic about business travel?
Absolutely.
Are you? You are?
Well, Josh, we've already seen business travel start. I said we've started to see business travel pick up. And if you ask people where it is quarter over quarter, year over year, virtually every big firm that we're talking to is saying down. It is going down. They are not going to be doing as much in the face-to-face.
That's my point.
That's the price.
That's my point.
Well, but no, we know it's
down.
That's the profit margin. That's the profit margin on these businesses, though, Josh.
John, we know this, though. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Well, but then why would you buy those airlines?
That's in these stocks. But that's in these stocks. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. So the question is,
Scott,
in which direction could the market be shocked? Only up.